Thank you, Coach Bell, and welcome back, viewers from Coach's Corner. We're still here with our very lovely Na from Details by Neyomi.
Thank you, Mommy.
Now, I know Kwame was giving you some hot questions, so after the break, I think Kwame's in it. Kwame,
Yes.
are you calmer?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
always calm. It's just
Always
that
calm.
it's just that she has a very good product,
Indeed.
and that product needs to be able to sell.
We need to unleash the
And
value.
unfortunately, the governance of how to sell it doesn't seem to gel with it.
Okay.
The other thing I'll ask you, who's your target market?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who have you targeted for your products?
Do you have your ideal
Do you
customer
have
in
your
your mind?
ideal customer? Who, when you take the scheme of people who can buy, who would be the ones you say, this is my target market? Is it high end? Is it middle class? Is it anybody can walk in and say, sew me a wedding dress and you sew?
The high end.
So the high end. Now remember that if the high end is your target market, you can't come below. Remember that the high end too, you can charge good prices. And let me tell you something. For the men, these colors won't make for the high end. For the men, these size of ties won't make for the high end. Because the corporate people, if you watch the kind of ties they wear, they are corporate ties. These are not corporate ties. So you've got to go out there. One of the major things you need to do is research. You need a research department within your company to be able to research what people want, to look at what people are buying from abroad
But you
to
may
bring
not
in.
necessarily have to carry that overhead. You can contract out the research to reduce your costs. Yeah.
Internet.
Mhm.
Can do research on your internet, your computer. Sit and do it. The one thing you also said, when I think it was Charlotte who asked you the question, you said Na hasn't thought the main thing. Na hasn't thought of it, so perhaps
Neyomi.
Neyomi.
yeah,
Mm.
Naomi
Neyomi.
hasn't thought of it, so maybe when she does. No, you are in this business together as partners. The mere fact that it's her passion doesn't mean you are following her. There are certain things that she might do that you don't agree with, that you should be able to point out to her. And you've got to segregate your duties. You should know exactly what it is you're doing. She should know exactly what it is, and you need to sit around the table every week to talk about the business.
But I think that Kwame has brought up a really critical issue for your business, and we need to discuss that. I'm not even sure you should have been registered as a limited
Yes,
liability company.
That's why I said what I
think
said.
a partnership, incorporated partnership, would have been better for both of you, because what that structure does is it recognizes that you are a partnership, and that you're both bringing something to the table, and your duties and your contributions would have been clearly spelt out. I think it is really good that you have one creative person and one non-creative, because I think creatives always need that balance.
Yeah.
But Naomi is dragging you into becoming a creative.
And it's not your forte.
Not only is it not your forte, you are beginning to behave like a creative. You are supposed to be the one pulling back the creative, holding the reins. And when the creative is running and saying, we're going to put 500 stones on this, you say, no, it doesn't make sense for the amount they were charging, so we're going to put 300 stones on it. You must be that detailed as well, not only about the designs you put out, but about the housekeeping. So you are in charge of the housekeeping, and if you don't hold up your half, or you're not allowed to hold up your half, the whole house is going to collapse on both of you. So you both need to go back and sit around a table, recognize the strengths and the contributions of both sides, and do that visioning process and spell out what each person is bringing to the table and what the load you are supposed to carry. So while she's doing the creative, you are doing the bookkeeping, and your job is always to pull her back. Pull her back and say, no, if we go this way, we're not making money. She cannot be the one who decides whether you're going to add a new product line or go into making men's shirts. You can actually be the one who takes that decision, because you need to do the research Kwame was talking about. Do the number crunching and say that, see, if we go into men's shirts, nice silk shirts for men, this is how much we can make of it. And now she has to translate that into the creative vision. So it must work both ways. One doesn't lead. You must be balanced in this, and that's the way you're going to succeed. Because that's really the beauty of your partnership.
That's right.
That's what you both have that other creatives may not have. The fact that you have the the yin and the yang.
That's right.
So don't lose it.
Yeah. And Charlotte, what is critical in this partnership way of structuring is that it helps you to make sure that the business is sustainable.
Yes.
It's not just a dream,
not
pipe
just running
dream,
on
as we
passion.
say, but it's a sustainable. You will still be around in the next 5 years when the vision is supposed to be accomplished. It should be sustainable.
The other thing is that it's a business, it's not a family. So when you come into work, you're working as a business. Take it that your sister is not related to you. However, when you're out of the workplace,
Your
that
sisters.
sisterly thing can come in. Otherwise, what happens is that if she makes mistakes or you make mistakes, because of that sisterly bond, it becomes very difficult to say, because you're scared you might create a certain uneasiness between your relationship. But in business, if you're my business partner, I'm not related to you. If I do something that you don't like, you should be able to tell
It
me.
may also help them to have, if they do the partnership route,
Yes.
or since they've already incorporated, even if you're going to keep the limited liability structure, have clear job descriptions for both of you and get independent board members. At
Key.
least two,
Key.
to help you guys balance this relationship. So you can't carry your family beefs to the workplace because you're accountable to somebody other than yourselves. And that may be the key to sustainability for you.
The other thing I would say, your materials, that's your stock. Do you buy them yourself or people bring them?
We buy them ourselves.
Who decides what you buy?
It depends on what the client's need is, especially when it comes to the made-to-measure stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to ready-to-wear, we decide on what to use.
Both of you.
Yes,
They are
please.
creative.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
But when we're doing the made-to-measure, which is the custom-made stuff,
Okay.
those ones, they tell us what they need, and
Or
then
in
we have to.
consultation.
Yes, please. And
Okay.
then we have
So let
to-
me end by telling you something. With the new AFCTFA coming into being, always remember the headquarters is in Ghana. Most of the African countries are looking to come into Ghana first. Kenyans, South Africans, they're all looking to come in. That is a huge market for you. Very huge market for you. Luckily, your quality is good. But if your structure isn't good, there's
can't
no
support it.
way you can support it. It won't be sustainable. Go read about the AFCTFA. Go to the Ministry of Industry, get more information on it.
Or their website.
Or their
African
website,
Free Trade.
African Free, and
Continental
start
Free Trade
working towards
Agreement.
it, because there are two markets you've got here. You've got a local domestic market and you've got an export market in Africa. Take advantage. The limited liability bit that you've targeted now, if somebody comes right now and they want to put equity, they want to put a loan, they want to be a venture capitalist, they don't put money into it because you don't have a structure. So it's
So
very,
all
very
the
important.
exercises Mona talked about at the beginning, as inventory of your assets and your liabilities and all that, that's what
That's
is going to
what
help
comes
you
into
towards
limited
this, yeah.
liability. Now, if you're finding it difficult to assimilate all these things, some of us are here.
Come, we'll help you.
We'll help you put it together, if for nothing at all. The one thing
With
I,
Neyomi.
the one thing I would want to tell you is that these types of ties you've done, the middle and the top class won't buy these.
But the export market may love this. They
Yeah,
actually love
yes, the export market may love it, and then the lower market may love it because of the kind of materials you've used. So go out there and research. If you have to go abroad to bring your materials in, do it, because that is what will make you stand out.
Yeah.
There are certain materials in this country everybody is using. If you bring yours in, the quality of your product
makes
will
it
be
unique, yeah.
different, and it will push you right up there. So remember, you've got to be able to research, you've got to be able to look out there, you've got to be able to get material in that nobody uses, and that is your route. to success.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Mona, do you have any?
I have one thing to say, which I think is very important when you partner with a family member. We've told you certain things, you've understood it. However, practicalizing it may not be easy, because I have a sister too and I know how it pans out, especially if that person is a creative person. So in HR, over time, I've had some experience. There's something called talent management, and HR managers are careful to learn about talent management. Managing a talent is not the same as managing just someone who does mundane work. Okay, there's a way to talk to them. There's a way to get the best out of them. Others, they can just go, I'm not talking again, or I don't want to work with you again. So learn about talent management so that you can have a better, sweeter relationship with your sister.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what truck are we going to send now off with?
Structure.
I
think structure.
Please. And now I think you should see the value in structure. It's hard work, but this is a really good business that you and your sister have started. You've done this from 2012, so you have a lot of experience. All we're asking you is put some structure around it. The structure is what is going to release the true value of this. And this can be something that you can build and pass on to generations. Let it be a different African story. We've lost so many wonderful designers. They die and then the business dies with them. That should not be the story of Details by Neyomi. And the only thing that is going to make this survive generation after generation is the structure. Once you start with these basics we've told you, then we now get to the next level of protecting the designs and making sure that you can pass on these designs to other generations. We're still wearing stuff by Chanel.
And they are not alive anymore.
They're not alive. So this is wealth you're sitting on. And Neyomi also needs to understand that talent needs to be managed so that everybody gets the benefit of this. Kwame, please do me the honors.
The one thing I saw about this vehicle is the fact that it has a gear.
It has gear.
Yeah.
So we're moving them to the next gear.
It has structure.
So we're wishing you guys the best.
That's right.
And we know that we're going to bring you back.
Okay.
And we know you're going to go to the next level.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we're here to help. I mean, if you need any of us, we are very available to help. So you can come by. You have my numbers. Come by anytime and let's sit and talk with you. And we hope that for those of you watching from home, if you are in the creative industry, we hope you've learned something from this week's episode. And it's really about the need for structure and how structure can help unleash the true value of your business and make all your efforts and all your sleepless nights worth it. So we thank you for joining us on this episode. Thank you to Fiducia Services, our producers. And if you're watching from home and you have a business challenge, please send us a 1-minute video to 026-300-5055 and we'll be very happy to respond and to give you some support. Thank you and see you all next week.
I'm Justin Agbosi, the co-creative director of Details by Neyomi, and the brand name is Details by Neyomi. I have learned that passion alone does not drive a business to success. We need to have a proper business plan, and also we need to have a proper structure. Reason we've been given this track with the structure in place to drive the business to success. Truly and really grateful to the Business Compass team for the opportunity given.
My name is Kwame Jantua, and today's business tip is quite an exciting one because it's got to do with trade on the African continent, the African Continental Free Trade Area. 1.2 billion people to serve. If you want to get yourself involved in export, this is the right vehicle to use. But before you get into that, you've got to understand what this complete new area is about. The most important thing with going into this type of area is to make sure that your quality of goods are perfect. And what do I mean by quality goods are perfect? You should be able, say you're doing cocoa in packages, you should be able to export that cocoa in packages to the European Union so that the quality is equal to what you're exporting into the African Free Trade Area. You've got to be able to do your market research, because as you're going out into other countries, they are also coming in to your countries, bringing their goods. So if the quality of their goods is better than your quality, then you have a problem there. So quality of goods, packaging is key to export into the African Free Trade Area. I hope you take this tip up.